I've lost the books. I don't know where they are. Friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah from Ink and Hue Colouring, and today we are continuing with part 2 of our hydrangea piece from Christine Karron's Wondrous Folk. This is a real-time chatty tutorial. We'll be doing the whole page together. Now in part 1, if you haven't seen that, firstly I will link that up above for you. We completed the skin, the hydrangea and the clothing, and today we're going to finish off the rest. So we're probably going to start with the hair and then the background and do some embellishments toward the end. We are using the Derwent drawing pencils today, the full set of the 172. The background's probably going to be Neocolor II. I've got some colours picked out, and I'll probably use just a sparkly gel pen for the embellishment. So I will list all of the supplies in the description below. If you don't have any of these, just adjust where you can. If you don't have Neocolor IIs, maybe you could try some pan pastel. Maybe you could just do some pencil. It's really up to you. For our hair, I am thinking a more of a muted brown color. At the minute, I might change. We know that I like to change my mind as I'm coloring, so here we have my little combination today. So I've got dark brown, woodland, warm earth, Bista, and wheat. I will have these on the screen as we are using them. So if you don't have these pencils, if you're following along with a different brand, just grab some muted browns and some muted nude colors as well. You'll see the colors unfold as we start. So I'm going to start with wheat, which is 5715, and we're just going to do a light layer. All over it. This is going to be the highlights. We'll just do the top section of her head and then her ponytail, just so that I'm not just moving the book around all the time. You're probably not going to be able to see this very well at all, because it is quite a light colour. Usually I do my backgrounds at the start if I have a good indication of what colour I want to do, especially if I plan to iron my page. However, this is really thick paper. I think it's not going to need an iron. It'll just need a heavy book, potentially, and I wasn't sold on the background really until I was halfway through colouring, so I decided not to do it first. So I'll get the hair done, and then we'll do that. So I'm just like roughly placing it. Like I said, we're going to start off with these browns. If I feel like adding in any other colours, then we will. If you're with me for part 1, you'll know that we started off with a green top and then we added brown in it because I had a pencil that had a bit of a pigment in it that scratched, and the pigment was brown. At first I was going to leave it, and then I actually liked the look of it, so we went with it. How funny. You certainly don't have to make her hair brown if you don't feel that's what suits her and your tastes. Bit of the eyebrows. You could do any colour that you like. She'd look good as a blonde as well. Actually, let's do the base. Yeah. Just thinking it's going to mean we're swapping pencils less if we do everything. I'm literally, yeah, this is just really rough colouring over it. You don't have to do it in sections. It'll be interesting to see how the Do It Drawing go with hair because they're such a soft pencil. They're designed to be. So I'm hoping that they go well. Otherwise, it'll be infinite sadness on my part. This page is my first full page. If you're interested, this is my first full page using the Do It Drawings. Only the Do It Drawings for the pencil work. I've previously had some open stock of them and I've used them on plenty of pages and fell in love with them. So I purchased the set because they became available in a local art shop, or say local, it's about an hour and a half from me, but in my state at least. And so I bought them because I knew it would be a while before they cropped up again. So this is my first full page with them. They've been pretty good. I've had a couple. I've had one where the lead snapped as I was sharpening it. I don't know if that was me sharpening too hard or not. And I've had one that's had, yeah, it was a muted green that had a bit of a brown pigment scratch in it, which was unfortunate, but it was fine. I could make it work and I was happy with how I did it. So the scratch started there. So I just put in some browns and yellows and I like it. But overall, they've been really good. They do wear down faster because they are soft. They are wax-based pencils. So that's going to happen. It just is what it is. All right, now we're going to go into Vista, which is 1800. And I'm just going to start. You could almost say this color, you could do some washes as well, or you could just start flicking like I'm doing now. So just light pencil strokes, flicking in the same direction as the grayscale pencil strokes. I'm not covering the complete section of hair. I'm leaving a gap in the middle, but I'm bringing a few strands out. This is just going to build up some tone, I suppose. And you could, if you were going to do like a creamy ashy blonde, you could use the wheat that we've just used, and you could use this color as well as part. But I have 3 more browns to add, potentially more if I decide to add some color, like some pink or purple or something, which I am known to do, so we shall see. Apologies if my camera focus is jumping around a little bit. As I'm looking at it, it's focusing on my pencil, not the picture. Yeah, it's very, I can't lock the focus on it because I need it to look at my pencil as I hold it up to the camera. But sometimes it gets a little bit focus happy. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just depends on the day. So we're just rolling with it. I find sometimes if I hold my pencil back, it's all right. But yeah, we're just going to make do. We'll be fine. We are big and strong. Yeah. this is, they do wear down quick, which I was kind of expecting. The point wears down quick, but you're going to get that with wax. So you're going to get it with Prismacolor, you're going to get it with these, you're going to get it with any wax-based pencil. You're better off using an oil base for hair. Keep it nice and sharp. Another tip would be, rather than just using the book page for cushioning, because that's quite squishy, you could get like a, like a palette or something and put it underneath just to keep something hard under the page, and that can keep your pencil sharper as well. But it's not bothering me at the minute. I'm just working with it. I used Prismacolor, and still do, but use Prismacolor as my main pencil set for a long time. So I've just learnt to adapt with it, and it is what it is. But yeah, if you have the choice, go for an oil base for hair if you can. They have a harder core. They're very hardcore, you know. They're like living on the edge. Huh. It depends if you mix your pencils too. I mix mine, so, which is part of the reason why I mix mine, is because they have benefits. Every set has a benefit, has perks, has colours that I like, that I don't like. So I mix and match them all in jars, because I just get to be picky and pick the best of everything that works for me. So yeah. Oh, I'm really liking the way this tone's looking. I'm like, do I keep it blonde? I don't know. Oh man, we never know what we're going to get, seriously. Sometimes I try and explain what I'm going to do in videos before I start, and then I just change it, and then I'm just like, why do I even bother trying to explain myself? Why don't we just dive in and have a go? Because it's always going to change. Right, so through all of that, just looking at my pencil tip, it's looking a little bit less sharp than I'd like. It's focusing on my hand. It's looking a little bit less sharp than I'd like, so I will sharpen that. And I like to keep a little brush handy because pencil dust. So I'm just following the shape. Hope you like pencil scratch noises. Some areas where you can just scumble in a bit of colour, you don't need to do your hatchings. I think this is hatching, I actually don't know. I think it is. I know what cross hatching is. Right, I think I can see all of this colour on this section. I haven't missed anything apart from down here, a little bit down there. Can always come back and add it. Oh, bit here. Yeah, don't worry if you miss anything, it's all good. Should be a little bit easier because it's just not as curly. So just continuing with the same. It's probably going to be easier to demonstrate when it's straight like this. Much easier. You can see how I'm like rocking back and forth as well. And I'm not doing a straight harsh line. I'm like lifting the pencil kind of like releasing it off. So we get these nice lines that don't have a harsh edge on them. We'll keep the highlight at the top of the hair. So following the grayscale that Christine's drawn for us. If you're with me in part 1, you would have heard me mention that if you're colouring another portrait, for example in Hannah Carlson's, where it doesn't have the grayscale and you're not sure, just find an image, find one of Christine's images. If you have the book, that's even better. And just find an image where it's similar, like where the subject has a similar position, angle of the face, of the hair and all of that. And you can use that as like a visual guide. Because sometimes it can be a little bit scary if you're starting out with portraits, or even if you've just been doing them for a few months and you're just like, I have no idea where to place everything. Some dark lines there. I like colouring hair, as tedious as it can be, and it was time consuming, I should say, more than tedious. It's just very relaxing. You can just switch off and flick your pencil. Also too, if you have any requests in Christine Karron's books that you'd like to see me do, any particular pages, any particular style, let me know. I'll make a video. I've had a lot of people request that I do more videos, or rather that I do videos on all of my colouring pages. So I'm going to try. Because originally I was thinking, oh no, I don't want to show all the ones where I'm experimenting in case I get it wrong. However, I think from the feedback I was getting, you guys are really keen just to see that happen anyway. So I'm going to try to film every colouring page. Even if it means I take longer to colour, that's fine. So yeah, we're going to give it a crack. I reckon I figured out a way to do it without burning out, I think. Yeah. Originally I was like, no, I'll just put some up and keep some for myself. But yeah, kind of realized, I was like, oh, there could be some like really cool stuff you guys would miss out on. So so yeah, we're going to do the videos and we're going to experiment together. And if I make some big mistakes, then I can show you how I fix them. So yeah. So I'm just going over the hairline because sometimes, and I was saying this in part 1 as well, sometimes if we just go right up to the hairline with the skin and don't go over it, and then if we go right up to the line with the hair and don't go over into the skin, we just get this harsh line. So I've brought a bit of the skin tone up into the hair, and the reverse is also too. I'm bringing some of the hair into the skin just a little bit, because when I noticed that I was getting lots of harsh lines before I started doing that. And I think too, with my videos, what seems to be working is just swapping them between silent color alongs and real-time tutorials like this one, real-time color alongs. So I'll just focus on those two, I think. I used to love doing spotlight tutorials, but then I would have a lot of people being like, that's great, that's awesome. Can we also see the rest of the page? So I'll show you as much as I can. Long story short. I'll do as many videos as I can on the channel for you. But like I was saying, yeah, if it means that I colour slower, that is fine. Fine by me. We'll just do it that way. So yes, even if one person puts in a request, I will write it down. I had one person that asked for, I think it was viola in this book or in Wildflower Folk to be coloured. So she's on the list. I've had a person ask for something in Tales of Atlantis. There was like a fantasy merman that I did. And there is another one on the opposing page, and someone was like, I would like to colour that blue, but I really struggle. I don't know how to do it. So I've written that down. We're going to have a go at that at some point. So if there's anything at all that you would like to see out of the books that I have, of course, let me know and I'll see if I can make it happen. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best. I'm definitely more about, as you'd know, so I've been banging on about this year, I'm definitely more about just making the videos that I love, such as this kind of stuff. Equally, helping people with their pain points in colouring, or if they have anything that they just want to see or unpack or learn how to do, even if it's just the one person. Like I don't need 1,000 people to say something for me to go, oh, that's a great idea. So yeah. Okay, that's that colour. Now we're going to start going into some brown. So I've got warm earth, which is 5550. Warm earth, no thanks. And same thing, but I'm not going to bring it out as far. It's going to start to build up some colour, cover those greys. You could totally just, if you wanted her to have grey hair, you could actually leave it at that. And just do those two colours if you like. Because sometimes like grey hair is not solid grey, is it? Nothing's what it seems. Sometimes you just got to be careful around the edges here that we don't get little dotty bits. On the hydrangea. It's quite a dark colour, so I'm pressing a little bit lighter. And I reckon most likely I'll be going back to those highlight colours as well. Bringing those out a bit. I am switching up my pencil pressure because sometimes I want a really delicate line, sometimes I want a thicker line. It kind of depends on where it is. If it's a darker area, you could go thicker, but if it's a lighter area, you just want to have something delicate, then yeah, you can go lighter. All right, let's get in some of these plaits, braids. See, I've gone a little bit too thick there compared to there. The lines are different. That's right. I can kind of just blend in a few extra delicate strokes to make it look less obvious. Okay, a couple across the skin line. Get around these pearls. Need to scumble a little bit. And the areas where it has the shadow in the middle, rather than just go from one direction, I just crisscross it. Because then you're going to have like the up flick on both sides, whereas if you just have it on one side, it's going to be really heavy on the right and really light on the left. So just swap it over. Cover over that. Did a whoopsie there. I like to rotate my page sometimes because I find I've got to flick the pencil on a certain angle to get the direction that I want. Okay, down the sides, I've just sharpened my pencil too because there's like finer areas. Oh, she's looking really lovely as a blonde, like a honey blonde. Maybe she's gonna be blonde. Oh my gosh, I cannot help myself. Oh, this is why I can't plan. I can't plan a palette. I just have to. really hope I'm not confusing you by at the start being like, okay, so we're going to go in with brown hair today. And then like, okay, now we have turquoise, fluoro pink, yellow. It's the other reason why you've heard me say it before. I don't keep hair or skin combinations is because I change so much. I think for me they're good as a starting point if I'm really stuck. However, yeah, just because I change my mind so much, because I just start to see different colors as things unfold and I start to visualize things in a certain way, and I cannot have a plan. I cannot have a plan. This is so funny because I used to be, and I've made videos on plans and organization, and they're still relevant. You know, I'm just different now. I've changed. Oh, I've got to do our eyebrows too, yeah. Oh, she looks really nice as a blonde. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna, yeah. With the eyebrows too, same thing, I just flick the hair. Like so. I'll probably go, the darkest areas will be here and here. That'll be lighter, but yeah. Just treat it the same way. Oh, there's a little eyebrow here. Okay, down here. Oh, she looks so great as a blonde. Okay, yep. Now I have to figure out, I probably will have one more brown as like the ultimate darkest color. I think we could deepen up some things, and I think I could almost find, perhaps I could find another, or perhaps we could just use our first two colors. Yeah, I might make those lighter colors more prominent, I think. Add a few more layers of those. So with this curly section down the bottom, we're just doing the same thing as up the top. Let's go over the grey areas, bring a few strands out a little bit. Sometimes you might like to start from the darkest point here and work your way up. You might need to rotate your book too. And just do section by section. You might like to approach this and grab all your colours and just do like one piece at a time and complete the piece. However, with that, if I were to do that approach, it restricts me a little bit, because if I want to change the hair color, if I start to see something as I'm going, then I'm kind of a bit stuck, because I've just done a whole brown section, and what if I wanted her to be blonde? That sort of thing. So yeah, I think there's pros and cons to doing it that way. But just do whatever makes sense to you. Maybe you're someone that's really good at seeing exactly what you want before you color, and you're quite comfortable. Or maybe you're a bit like me and things morph and evolve over time, and you just ride the wave. You ride the creativity wave. Last stop, confusion and chaos. Oh dear. Nah, I love it. It suits my personality way more, doing things like this, making it up. Oh, too thick of a stroke. See that? That's all right. Go over it. I feel like it's important for me to point out if something goes, and it's a very minor thing, but if something goes wrong, like again, even if it's very minor, like if a pencil stroke is in the wrong spot, or it's too thick, or I've used the wrong color, or there's something gritty in my pencil, because I think it's important to show how you can correct it. Because I think sometimes we get too worried about ruining pages and we don't just jump in and have a go, and when really it's not as big of a beast that we think it is. going to go over it and lightly, very lightly. I can always blend that out with a white pencil if I need to. Down here as well. I'm really liking the red in the hydrangea. I feel that if I just did the whole thing in light colors, the whole image might look a little bit pastel, which sometimes is the look we're going for. But yeah, I'm liking the bold red. Okay, this bit's going to be a bit tricky because there's a lot of movement. Let's do one section at a time. Yeah, I'm generally someone who likes to mix up the saturation of my page. I don't necessarily like something all bright all the time. I like to have a mix of really bright colors, and then I like to have muted in there too. Add browns, add blacks. For me, I just like the balance, just the way that it looks. Even like I've got warm and cool tones in here. And if that kind of thing intimidates you, please don't worry. I don't think about it deliberately. It just kind of happens, and then I'm able to interpret what's happening, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I've done warm and cool tones here. Okay, cool, great. I don't necessarily plan it out that way. A lot of people do prefer to plan it out that way, and that's awesome. If that's your thing, go for it. But please don't worry about having to remember that if it doesn't help you. And people are going to find different things relaxing. So I get a huge kick out of being mad scientist with all the color shift and all that. Like, I love it. But I understand that a lot of people would find that exhausting. Everyone's different, so please just approach your coloring pages the way that is best for you. Even if you're following along to this and you're like, I cannot keep up with a multicolor hydrangea, then don't. Just keep it purple if you need to. But if you want to go full nerdy, you absolutely can. The world's your oyster. You know, it's also funny because I was sold on a silver gel pen at the start, a silver sparkly one. And now I'm thinking, do we go gold? Jeez Louise. I'm probably not going to make that decision until I do the background, to be honest. I'm just looking at her head, and I think there's a section that I need to run this colour over again. It's looking a little bit pale. This is the same brown that was in this top too. You may have remembered that if you were with me for part 1, which I hope you were. I mean, you would be, unless you're just here for the hair in the background, which is fair. Or maybe you're just here for the chaos and the absolute riot, which is, what colours am I going to do? Oh dear. No, we love it. We love it. Oops. Got another bit there. Oh well. Cover that up. There we go. Okay, let's just, you see on the top here, it's not very filled in, so I'm just going to go over that again. Yours might be all right. Mine though, it's a bit how you going. Bring a bit more of it out. I think, yeah, because I've decided to stick with the blonde. What we might do, before I bring the darkest shadow colour in, I just might go ahead with our lightest colour. Or should I say our second lightest, which was the Bista 1800. Bista, yeah, you know what I mean. Bring that out. Just lightly up here. Yeah. Sometimes I find that the grayscale can actually work with the color combination that you're doing, so we can leave a bit in. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but I can still see it. And it's kind of, it's working for me. Let's add this bistre in more. It's just really nice shade. Not too much, just a little bit. This is really nice pinky beige colour, which I quite like. Okay, let's bring it out a bit more down here as well. Before I go in with a darker brown, just for a little bit of something. Yeah, when I colour blonde hair, I actually don't like to use anything too yellow. I prefer an ashy blonde, or even a blonde that leans more towards like blush tones almost. It has this nice vibe to it. Right, let's bring in a little bit of woodland, which is 5-600. For just the dark shadows, so things that are areas that are behind things. Just a little bit. Almost going to bring in that warm earth again. Just find your darkest areas. You might have areas that are looking a little bit too grey for your liking. Up the top. A little bit up here, not too much, just a little bit. I missed a bit behind the pearls. Let's grab all those. Just a little bit in here. Eyebrows, I feel like I've forgotten those, neglected them. Eyebrows I generally have a little bit darker, especially if they're blonde. If I've got blonde hair, I don't generally have super. Just flick a bit of eyebrow hair right there. Yeah. I don't like to have super blonde eyebrows if I can help it. Okay. Let's go back in with the warm earth. And I was going to bring that colour out a bit more. You could even just give it like a light scumble in some areas just to build up some colour. Doesn't always have to be a pencil flick. I've found anyway. Fix up around your pearls. I've made it too obvious. Oh, she's looking damn fine. Yeah, I'm just scumbling back and forth now. Well, it's more of a, yeah. Let's get some colour in there. Down the bottom too. I'm going to press a little bit harder here because it's underneath. Same with down here. I don't want every portion of hair to have the same saturation, because sometimes if the hair is like further underneath, you can make it more saturated, a little bit darker. Okay, I think that's the hair pretty much done. Now we can look at some bits and pieces for her lips and the eyes as I adjust this bit. Warm it up a little bit. And then this bit too. Yeah. Oh, how lovely. Okay, let's do some eyeballs. First things first, let's deepen up the eyelashes with a little bit of ivory black. Black. We'll add in some brown as well. And I need to finish off the eyebrows. Just a little bit. She's got blonde hair. I don't want it to be fully black. Just a little iris as well. This is quite a brown black, so it's all right. Let's go in with the dark brown 5650. Same thing, let's just follow the eye line a little bit. The lash line, bring it up a little bit further. Give her a little bit of something in terms of makeup. I usually don't like a whole deal, but just a little bit. To just a little bit around the eyes. Now that we've got the hair sorted, we can just darken up some of this just a little bit. Okay, let me add in just a tiny bit of light rust, 1650, to the whites of her eyes, just a tiny bit. Like the tiniest smidge. And then we'll go in with the Chinese white. Thinking for parts of her eyes, let's go in with the Polar Ice 2900. Do some blue. Her eyes aren't that big. Sometimes with Christine's portraits, you can get like a really nice big eye to work with. And I want to mute that down just a little bit. So let's try that teal blue 2800. Still quite bright, but hey, we'll go with it. And then back with the Chinese white 7200. Now for some lips. We could bring in some natural colours, I'm thinking. I'm going to start with the Burnt Rose 2000, which is what we've used for the skin. I'm just going to add a bit of that to the shadows areas. Going to cover over most of it, but just go lighter in some areas. And then let's try the light rust 1650. We'll add that in into our lighter areas. Let's go over the lip line as well. Smoosh all that in together. Yeah, just a nice natural lip. There is all of our pencil work done with a drawing. You could go in and just do some embellishments if you want and not do a background if you like the way that it's looking. It does look really nice with the ivory. However, I do want to add some Neocolor II in. So I'm going to do that first and then do the embellishments at the end. So with our Neocolor II, I have just placed some pieces of paper behind as I will be taking the color right to the edge. You can border it off if you like. You could do a little white outline. If you prefer, you could make it as small or large as you like. So just 2 pieces of paper behind there. I'm not doing that because I'm worried about it getting through to the other side. I've done it because I'm worried about me like bleeding it on the edges. So I've just put the piece of paper there so that I can bring the color out over the edge and I don't worry about getting it on the book. I've picked 3 colors today. So I have the apricot, which is number 041. I have the desert rose, which is also called flesh, in 042, and the white, which is 001. So I'm thinking of just using these 3 colors today, making it nice and light. And as usual, I have my Arteza brush. This is the smallest size. And a bit of a cloth as well. So I don't think I'm going to do like a vignette. I think it's pretty much just going to be, it'll loosely be darker on the outside, but not a whole heap. I'm just going to dap all the colors around. So I'm just going to start with the apricot. And I'm just going to do a few little scribbles like so. I do have a couple of Neocolor tutorials up on the channel if you're interested. One there and one there. Or different ways you can use them, but I will try and incorporate tutorials for them throughout my other colouring pages as well, just so you can see them done in a variety of contexts. I think sometimes it's nice to do it that way as well. So I'm just going to dapple it around like so. So yeah, it's kind of a vignette, not really. Bring out more colour, I think. More colour! And with Neocolor II, I generally do 2 coats. You can put a bit of washi tape in there if you like. I'm just going to leave it because it's single-sided. I'm not too worried about it. I think I can get it relatively neat. I'm going to cover most of the area in these colours, and I might flip the book around at some point to get in the spine. So I'm just going to fill up, yeah, just going to put as much colour in as I can. I do like it to look quite colourful. Depends if you want it like a really muted look or a really bright and vibrant look. It depends on the occasion. I've used Neocolor II a couple of times in Christine's books, but I've never brought it out to the edge in her books. I've usually just kept it pretty contained, so we'll see how we go. It'll be fine. I'm just thinking about, I'm going to have to cover up that word because I kind of don't want to have this. Oh, maybe. We'll see how it looks. All right, now I'm going to grab the Desert Rose 042. And I'm actually going to peel that off when I get around to my second layer, I think. Just going to dapple it around, bring it out further. Pretty much just put it in all the gaps that we had. I might cover up the hydrangea word, I might not, we'll see. See if it gives me the ick or not. The white I'm not using as a standalone colour. I'm going to use it just to add a bit of variance. Between the existing colours. I generally like to have it a little bit lighter around the face, the colours I'm referring to, but we'll see how we go and we'll see how we need to adjust. Again, if you don't have Neocolor II, please just feel free to use whatever supplies you have that are in this color. You could use pencil, watercolor paint, pastel, anything. You could leave it completely blank. Oh no, I just snapped it. That's a shame. Oh, oh. Oh, this is really annoying. Oh, I'm gonna have to, I mean, whatever. Oh well. I'm not gluing it back together. Never had that happen before. Well, I suppose your art supplies are there to be used, not preserved in perfect condition. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the white and just fill in some gaps. I could have been pressing too hard maybe. I'm just going to colour around it because I kind of, I want to blend the white in. I used the white before, the white and beige on a Layla Julie page on a pro tier. And yeah, I really liked it. I might have to redo the eyelash. Methinks. Okay, how's that done? Now, to do the activation, I want wet brush. It's like a little bit wet, but not too damp. It's like trying to just have a nice happy medium. And I'm going to start from these lighter areas and work my way around. And just dot it around in sections. And I'll pick the white up as I go. And bring that out. So I'm just doing like a scumbling motion and just dotting it around. Bringing some of the colour. I want it to look quite dappled. So just bringing the colour over other areas, mixing it in. That off. I'm starting to, just with the darker colours, starting to become quite saturated. So I don't want it all to look like soup. I want to have some kind of colour separation. So I'm just doing my best to keep that colour placement if I can. I'm not getting a huge amount of water on here. Wipe off because I want to preserve this white area as much as I can. It's like preserving it and mixing it at the same time, I should say. It's, yeah, it's a bit of both. The first layer, if you're familiar with Neocolor II, you'll know that the first layer can always look a bit mottled and a bit weird. And that it's the second layer where you can really get some nice looks happening. So yeah, I'm just wiping off if I going from like that apricot colour to white, and if I want to preserve the white colour around there, around the edges of the hair and things. It is tempting to do like really big circles, but I feel like you're better off if you do littler ones. I could use my other brush, but I wouldn't get as nice of a dapple, I don't think. So I can see it's quite patchy still, but that's all gonna even out, and I can spread out those patches a little bit when I do my second layer. It's kind of just, it's there so I know where the color placement is, but we can blend it out a lot more. Or you just blend it out to your liking, I suppose. You really can just move the color around. All right, I'm going to flip the book, or I'll stop there and then I'll just do this top part and then I'll flip the book so I can do the spine. Yeah, we're getting hardly any warping, which is good because it's very lovely and thick paper. All right, flip her over. Alrighty. Can try and get that right in the edge, or as much as I can. Try and get around the eyelashes and the face. It's a little bit hard to see how like all the colours are working together when I'm upside down. But when I flip it over, I can have a bit of a look. Just see that it's all on the right track. I'm going to adjust everything in layer 2. All right, now it's time to build on that color. So I'm going to grab the apricot and the other color, which is the desert rose and the white. And I'm pretty much just going to do section by section. And all I'm going to do is you just grab it off the top like so. And I won't do it over the page because you can get splatters. So I'll just do it off to the side. And we pretty much just start dappling it around and filling in those gaps, and I'm going to overlap the areas where there was the lighter colour too. And I'm just taking it off the brush all around. So I'm just taking it off the crayon on all sides so that I can try and create like a point on it and like resharpen it. It's like a resharpen without actually putting it in a sharpener. Put a bit of it down here too. Okay, I'll grab my next colour, my tiny little one. So sad I broke it. I'm pretty much just going to fill in the gaps. Blend it in with the other one. Until I pretty much just get the coverage that I want, really. Blending everything together. There's some bits that from the first layer look pretty good, but always just tweaking, going over them. And that's the thing, like you can just keep adjusting. You can just keep dabbing color on until you get like a really smooth look. Not smooth, but you get a dappled look that you want. There's no huge gaps anywhere. There's no like bits of color missing. It's all just blending together. Very painterly. I might put a little bit around here and then I can go over it with the white. Sometimes you won't really notice things until it's dry and you can go over it and adjust. It's the good thing about this layer, you can just build it. Then we get the white. It's not looking very white. It's a nice looking corner. We keep going down. Back to the darkest colour. Trying to create a point. Dapple it out a little bit. I really don't want to see anything too splodgy or solid. I want it all to look pretty not separated. What's the word? I want it all to blend together nicely. I found too, some colours require more effort to blend and others just work really well together. You don't really need to do that much. I find that the oranges are pretty good, especially on the second layer. You can just kind of throw it in wherever. So we are continuing just to swap between colours. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about keeping the, it's giving me the ick a little bit, but I'll see if I can tweak it so I'm all right with it. Otherwise I'm just going to go over it. It's a little bit like bleh. I kind of, I don't know, part of me wants to keep it because it's the name of the portrait. Okay, I'll make our way over towards the spine, and then I'll go back up the top and flip the book. Oh, a bit down here, I think. Oh, got a bit of wet there on the hair, that's all right. Bit of hair there. Oh my gosh, there it is again. Get away. Get away. All right, let's do the flipperooski. Not too much water, that's all right. More opportunity for more colour. Keep finding a crazy amount of lint. Just comes up. So funny. I don't need to use the white a whole deal on the second pass because just kind of can blend in what we've already done with the second layer. Oh, these are really nice to paint with if you can get a nice thick bit. Yeah, they just fill in colour so well. I think this apricot colour is really good. It's really strong. It's not watery. Yeah, it's beautiful. Like I was saying, majority of the oranges that I've encountered so far in the Neocolor II are just so great. I must play around with doing big washes of colours, doing solid backgrounds even. I reckon I'm going to adjust this when I'm right way up again. Okay, let's flip it around and adjust. I reckon I could get some of the top edges a little bit thicker with more apricot. And then, yeah, let's tweak the middle bit around her chin and that. Probably will add some white. Okay, I'm going to tweak the bottom. A little bit, and then I reckon we'll do some gel pen stuff. Okay, perhaps we're going to go with gold glitter. My choice was the silver or the gold. I think it really is to preference. I think you could go either way because there's warm and cool colors in here. I feel like I'm going to use the gold purely, yeah, I think. We'll start on some of the clothing down the bottom here. Let's actually look at a quick test. I've done a gold ring and a silver ring. I think the gold is too yellow for the book, for the page. So we're gonna go with the silver. Hilarious. We could do both, but I would like to do just one. And we're gonna do just go around the patterns. You can get it really fine. Yeah, so this is a gold, this is a silver Signo sparkling. If you look at the design of the pen, it's probably different. If you're in the US, it's probably very different to what you're used to seeing. I think these are an Australian design of pen. You can certainly buy Signo elsewhere, but I've really only seen this particular type in Australia. And this is going back to when I was younger as well. As a teenager, I used to go and buy gel pens with my pocket money. I'm like, of course you did. Very obvious. Doing what I do now. But yeah, this is very much an Australian thing, I think. I've had a lot of my US friends ask, where did you get that exact pen? I cannot find it anywhere, even on Amazon. But you don't have to use this exact one. You could use another sparkly gel pen. I just like this one because it's pure sparkle. There's no ink behind it. Sometimes with a gel pen, you might get a certain color ink. You might get a gray ink with a silver sparkle. So like with your sparkle pops and stuff. This one, I find, is pure sparkle. And there's times where I feel like that's just exactly what I need. Oops. All right, hydrangea centers. Pearls. I'm going to do the pearls all in sparkle this time. In my last page, if you join me for that, when we did lilies and pearls in Wildflower Folk, we did not put glitter on the pearls because they were stacked around her neck, and it ran the risk of just looking too much of a glittery glob. So I decided to put a gloss over it instead. But because these are in a single string, I think it'll be all right. Cover over this one. I mean, it kind of looks nice with this silver over the top. Just love these Signo sparklings. They're just so good. I just found them in Officeworks. And I find that if you hold the pen pretty vertical, you can get a good amount of sparkle out. All right. I'm going to flip it around to see if I've missed anything. Oops. Ah, she looks lovely. I'm so glad we went with the silver. Very good. All right, let's zoom it out. Wowee, guys, what a fun page that was. Thank you so much for joining me today for part 1 and part 2, hopefully. Oh, I'm really happy we went with the silver, and I like how those little details are turning out. So good. Let me know in the comments if you have completed this page with me, and I'd love to see your results over on Instagram as well. I'll pop this page up there once this video is released. So I will see you in the next color along, whether that be a real time or a silent color along. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.